to Days of the Dead. We are the Weird Sisters. I am Mama Voodoo.
I'm Lady TA.
We're having a great time.
Oh my gosh. I got to meet you 3 years ago at the Days of the Dead here, and you were so kind. And I think we had tables next to each other too, which helped.
Yes, it was so much fun. Yes,
And I love the tarot card reading.
thank you.
And she makes her own. I'm going to let you do the rest though, but she gave me a tarot card yesterday. But I know it's easier, but maybe I'll ask another question and I'll pay for another one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You got it, girl. So yeah, we've got a booth here. We're doing pretty good. We love the show. We love the people. We love the vibe in the show. Not necessarily out on the casino floor, but definitely. That's a whole nother story.
You do so much though. You make candles
Yes.
and had the cemetery dirt.
Oh yes. Well, we are seventh generation, taught by our grandmother. She is the light to my dark. Hers is earth fairy magic. Mine is dealing with shadows. We do sell graveyard dirt. We do collect it ourselves. We do it respectfully. We've had a couple of people say stuff. No, we do it respectfully. We do make jewelry. She does oils, potions, spells.
Very good.
Yep. I make hats.
Thank you. Love it.
She makes these amazing brooms. I do
Blessing brooms.
Yeah, blessing brooms. We do blessings. And now we are legal. We can actually legally do weddings in the state of Nevada. We can actually do weddings outside the state. If we get a certain one-time license, we're allowed to do that too. We've already done several weddings where it's coming along. That part of the business is called Till Death.
So I just like that you're both nurturing and you're very good with people and you want to help people and
Right into a cauldron. No, I mean,
could be though.
sorry, inside voice.
Some people get hacks if you mistreat people. If you're like, why did I have a bad day? Maybe it was the forces in nature.
We just returned to sender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. But there's so much to you and just your uniqueness. I don't think, and I've been around 45 years, I guess, but enough. I don't think I've anybody met sisters or anybody like you before in my life, anywhere. Even if they say they're witches or anything like that. Because I was telling a young girl, like, and she was like, you said it. I just want to, I'm not feeling anything. I can feel energy. And I remember we went to that con, that monster. Remember I was I'm like, Jade, I was so
We did a convention in, was it Phoenix? It was Phoenix.
Yeah.
And what happened was apparently somebody had committed suicide.
What? Oh my gosh.
Somebody had committed suicide the day the con started.
Is that what it was? Like,
And the energy was so off and nobody could figure out why.
I couldn't even talk. I was like, I was so done.
And I walked around the whole convention throwing graveyard dirt on everything, going, okay, this needs to go away now. And it changed the whole atmosphere.
We did that for you. We circled you and then threw some behind you as you walked away.
I was
You
like,
came back 10 minutes later
better.
like, everything's mellow now.
Yeah.
because I don't know what it was, but it was so, I never felt like that before. I was like, what is
Energy was
so
stifling.
I didn't notice because there's so many more people. But I was like, and I told Leroy down from the original Ghost House, I'm so sorry, I had to leave early. And then that main security guy walked me out. He's like, I'm free. I thought I had to pay because I was like, oh no, he's gonna take me to the back room and interrogate me. No, he just took me to like, I didn't know though, but I was walking. I was like, on the main. I'm like, oh, you are okay. But no, it's good that you were there and you're aware. But I was feeling, I'm like, is my iron low? Like, did I not eat enough? It was just another thing, but it was sick.
But you weren't the only person. There was a young lady who comes to a lot of these events. We know her. She buys stuff from us all the time. And she came by and she was dressed as the girl from Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
Audrey.
Yeah.
And she had
a great.
she had a plant. And Audrey too.
Oh,
But it was actually a purse. And it was so cute. She made it. So she had a little door in the back and it had a wallet and she had all her stuff in there. It was so funny. And she comes by and she goes, "Oh my God, this guy is following me and annoying me." So I was like, "Here." And she goes, "What do I do?" I said, "Sprinkle it on his feet." She comes back a little while later. She goes, "Can I have another one of those?" And she's like throwing money at us. I was like, "Yeah, our stuff works. I'm sorry, but it works." And oh, here we go.
But to know there's other things out there, because some people they're born and conditioned a certain way.
Yeah.
I was born into a religion, right? And I went to different religions. So I never felt to fit into it. But there's more to it. And there's when I went to showbiz, I started feeling numbers all this stuff. Like I thought I was going crazy. Sometimes I will. But I started there's patterns. There's other forces speaking, and I didn't realize that. So I'm like, what's happening? Why? It was just weird. But then
We educated you on what's going on so you can handle it.
Yes. And just consider, if this was the 1800s, we'd all be in an asylum.
worse.
Or dead.
I burned and dragged by a horse.
No,
and my mouth cut out.
would be
Oh.
more like the 1600s.
If I was who I am now, my tongue would definitely be cut out, and I would be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, women were not, that was a totally different ballpark. Although the air that's happening nowadays, let's not go there.
There's a good and a creepy queen. I love this stuff, and I started looking. I started seeing this. There's protection spells. Like,
Yeah.
symbols.
Yeah, the ruins on the hand.
Yeah. What are these called? Can you share a little bit about what that means and everything?
So I changed my runes. These are runes, not ruins. Runes. Runes. There are different runes depending on belief systems. There are witches' runes. There are Viking runes. There are runes for Wicca, which is a certain path in paganism. So each one is for something, and they're supposed to help you achieve what you're aiming for. So I change mine constantly. I clean them off. Then I will anoint the area. Then I'll change them. And I do it on a daily basis.
I just forget this everything you do and put together. And I remember you were telling me about the real bones. And
Yeah, these are all real bones, and they're snake, lizard. All of my bones are ethically sourced. I do not believe in killing animals for like stupid things, like putting a head on the wall. And I don't believe in that.
Natural causes.
The natural causes. Actually, I deal with people who actually go bone hunting.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a whole bunch, and they have
Yeah.
a little skull over there and
Right.
a jawbone. I don't
Right.
know from
They go
where.
bone hunting. Tara at Living Dead is a very good friend of ours.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
talked to her.
we,
Hi. She,
yes.
You know, it's all,
Absolutely.
I
She's a
think it was the
sweetheart.
Greenway.
And she does bone hunting. I have other people who do that. I also talk to like pet stores. Animals pass away all the time, and all they do is just basically throw the bodies out. And to me, that's kind of a sin. So I do find them from good sources.
I'm donating my body, so
Are you?
yeah, I'll be somebody will be having me showcase one day. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I want mine in a tomb. You can come worship me.
Okay. Maybe because people do, and if you have a strong like presence, I think you can carry that with you into both. So that's how people interact sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it all out because remember when I first met you, I didn't know. I'm like, I don't know, but sorcery. But no, there's a lot of good, and people just have to be able to be receptive
Yes.
to it.
Well, they have to have an open mind.
Rule number 1, harm none.
Yeah. That is one of
If
the
somebody sends nasty at us,
we just
return
send
to
it.
sender.
Yep,
Send it back.
Yeah, that's what I do too. So I would like, I could feel when someone gets like, up at me because I dressed like how I dressed yesterday.
Well, that's also jealousy. That's a whole nother ball of wax. You're beautiful,
What? Not scared to see that.
Intelligent and outgoing.
and you're
And I'm always doing
a
protection.
lovely
If I
person.
feel like there's anything bad, this is my protection thing.
Oh,
When I'm doing this, I'm protecting.
just come to me and point the way.
This works.
I have
This
voodoo
works.
dolls. We'll travel.
It's bought. So if you're like going through a crowd, grocery
Yeah.
shopping or whatever, no, just
Oh,
cross your arms.
I was just gonna say, Gina,
No.
Like, what am I doing?
Just relax, cross your arms, and that's throwing up a block.
But you do have a website for your.
We are on Instagram right now. We are building a website. We are doing a lot of things this year. We were invited to V Neil's Vampire Weekend.
Say it again.
We were invited to V Neil's Vampire Weekend.
I saw that picture. I'm jealous. I watched her at Mesa.
Yes, we met her 2 years ago. We were walking by. She is kind of to me because I've been doing makeup for so long, and she did 20 years of makeup, but commercial makeup. But I saw her and I was just like, oh my goodness, I love you. And she goes, you're fucking gorgeous. You're camera ready. And we're like, oh my God, thank you. And after that, I was like, that's it. I can die now. V Neil just told me I was camera ready. I'm ready to go.
That's amazing though.
Yes.
Great opportunity. I shared that.
Yeah. Yeah, we and then when she saw us again, she's like, "Hey!" And she goes, "Come to and she hands us the flyer, and we're like, I said, I've been talking to the site, and I didn't figure it was her, but her site, and apparently it's her assistant. We've been talking to, and we're definitely going to do it. And we were invited to 4 other events on top of that since we've been here, so we're going to be busy. We're okay.
Busy.
We're okay with that. We have a couple of things on the fire, so we're looking forward to it.
No, I think it's gonna. Well, when I was coming in, I was gonna hit the floor running, and then things were happening. So I'm like, I'm just gonna tiptoe, look around this year just in case. Because last year I just kept going, and I was working full time. You know, when you do that,
Yeah.
and you just had no time for friends, no time for anything. I worked full time, overtime, and then family, and like me. I was like, oh, I didn't feel like I had a life. It's just
You have to take time and do stuff that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no,
You have to.
I resign. Yeah, I have a lot of time again. I really was grateful. I was grateful for taking care of people, but
Yeah.
area here.
Yep.
But I got to connect with John Stiles again. I haven't seen him in a while either.
I know we haven't seen you in ages. So
I love John Stiles. Thank you again. No, always kind and never pushy. So I don't like pushy men. Or women. Women do it too sometimes. I think there's a lot of good once you get a platform and you build
Yeah.
it. But boy, be careful because people are going to try to knock you down. So yeah,
I have voodoo dolls. I'm good.
yeah. And if you mistreat
So many
but-
pins, so little time.
Yeah. I'm like put some like.
She'll send the fairies after you, and then you can't find anything.
You know what people said fairies were, you know how they portray them as beautiful, but are they not really beautiful?
They are beautiful.
They can be.
There's all types of fairies, though.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Seelie, which is the high court, the high fairies, the Unseelie, which are the other court. They don't believe in good or bad. That's a human trait. Fairies are fairies. They do what they do. It's like the spiritual elemental creatures. They have been here forever. They don't put human feelings on what they do. We do. So to a fairy, one day could be 10 years to us. So it depends on where you're going. And it also depends on the culture. There's different cultures that believe different things. Now, if you go to Japan, witches are bad in Japan. They're manipulative. They can change their shape. They can be
Like
very,
shapeshifter.
yeah, they can be very evil. But they call them a witch. It's not really a witch. Okay? But
Well,
it
different
depends.
culture.
It's a different culture. But then they have all sorts of different spirits as well. And I don't know if you ever heard of
And a lot of animal spirits.
the suicide forest.
Watched it. I did.
Okay.
I still go in it.
The suicide forest is, I personally believe that the entities that live there, I forget what they call them,
Oh.
but it's an accurate version of like what people would call a demon.
No, maybe I take it back. I won't.
Well, I would love to go there, but I think that
Have fun.
the voices would be too much.
We're
They're-
both empaths.
Yeah.
Just that energy and
Yeah.
the
Scaring me now.
all those stuff.
It's supposed to be
Oh,
one
I
of the
could
most
go.
beautiful forests in the world, I'm sure, but there's too much there. And they tell you never to leave the path. And there are signs in all different languages. If you feel depressed, they actually have people there all the time to talk to you. If you have suicidal thoughts, so they and the signs say, you know, if you feel this way, please turn around, go back and go to this office. We will talk to you. We will help you. That's how many people have committed suicide in that forest. And they haven't found them all either. And it's when they do find
them.
there's a lot of pain,
A
yeah.
lot of pain.
But it's been that way for hundreds of years. Hundreds of, that's why it's known as the suicide forest. It's also known as the forest
I
of
think
trees.
that if you go there, and you manage to come back, and you're like, Nicole, I think it's, you can make it to like 2 feet in there. Maybe I'll invite my sons and open out.
You know what? I don't recommend it to
No.
people who are sensitive. I would love to go, but I don't think, I think it'd be too much for me. Definitely be too much for her because she's super sensitive to, very empathic. So people who are empaths, I don't.
So you get like I don't know, like a weird neck weight. Where all of a sudden you're like,
Or you feel heavy, like you're being pushed down.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Well,
you can go either way.
People don't realize that they can all project that. And there are some people called psychic vampires, and it's real. They're real. They don't realize they're doing it a lot of times.
They're just pulling all the energy.
Yes,
How do you protect yourself?
you put a shield up.
How do you put a shield up?
And it's a taught process. You learn to protect yourself.
And you could teach it.
I can teach it, yes. It's something that's not happening overnight, but you have to start to learn to protect yourself. Plus, if you're feeling that way, then leave the room.
Well, sometimes you can leave a room. Sometimes, yeah, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we were throwing graveyard dirt around too.
Yes.
Was it attached
Yeah.
to me? I was like,
It was just
No,
the whole
no.
thing.
backing up me.
I
Just the whole
honestly,
thing. And you're
it,
sensitive to
it was, everybody was sensitive to it. And when I found out what
I'm glad I
happened,
didn't feel like I was crazy.
no, you weren't. There were other people who were feeling it too. So, and it will happen. I worked for Circus, for a Fright Dome, and they had the 13th floor one year. And Circus is one of the few hotels that actually has a 13th floor, a functioning 13th floor.
I'm like 13.
Well,
I usually have lucky.
there were so many deaths attached to it.
Oh.
And a lot of people, they try to keep it quiet. But while we were
That makes
doing,
them not lose their business. So
Right.
it's all for the business, and that's the thing too.
Right.
Mask
And-
everything.
they stopped using the 13th floor. Because
So making me how to do these things that just out of
people
curiosity.
don't, well, my
I
God,
think
you
I
woman,
feel
you
not
went
like-
to the Clown Motel.
I didn't get any.
She won't go.
I've been once. I don't need to do it
So when
again.
I went to that calm motel, they had a lot of people that died from typhoid and old Greys, some from Ireland. Maybe they're there, maybe they're not. I don't know if they're. I mean, I checked to see if they're really there. They could have moved great.
I have a shovel. We can go.
I just want to see because sometimes they move. I think they moved it and shifted it because they wanted to build the hotel.
Well, wasn't it? I believe it was an asylum, wasn't it? There was an asylum or something close by. Somebody told me one time. I'll have to look into it. But now the spirits have moved to the hotel. Well, I'm sorry. You've got nothing but clown dolls. You're asking for it.
I mean, I didn't stay the night there. I stayed down. But I didn't feel like, oh my gosh. Even at nighttime, I only got spooked by, I moved the cylinder block and there were bugs. I'm like, bugs. But I didn't get any,
Well, you weren't at the hotel.
maybe that's what it is. See?
Yeah,
I
you
guess,
weren't at the
yeah,
hotel.
yeah. What can you give advice for anybody that, maybe like, like I was, into Catholic. I was born a Catholic.
What?
I was born like into Catholic, like a religion, and then went to Christian and Lutheran and Methodist and Presbyterian, and then I looked into Jehovah's Witness and all these religions, all of them, like all of it.
You're finding your path.
Yeah, 'cause I was like,
You're finding your path. You know, it's a journey. It's not a sprint. It is a journey. Everybody has to. I mean, I was born and baptized Roman Catholic. My mother was a Lutheran. She did not want me baptized Roman Catholic. She got mad at my father for doing it. And then they forced me to go to Catholic school, and the nuns were so horrible to me that my mother took me out. So after that point, you know, that's when I found out the history in my mother's side of the family that they're hexes, which is a German witch. And as soon as I found that out, I said, now I understand why I am the way I am.
Is it bachelor's in religion?
No. I have a bachelor's in fashion, business, and art.
But she studied religion.
I studied religions. I studied history. I've been doing that. I was close to a doctorate. So then I got hit by a car.
so this is what I think
True
that you
story.
went through, and I know that you can share it, how you found each other, because you didn't work race together, and that's very important too. How that unity happened, and I think there's forces that challenge.
Yes.
That happened yesterday, and things happen, so you can learn to be aware, because then later on, other people, to kind of reassure them they weren't the only ones.
Yes.
That's the worst when you get singled out.
Go ahead and throw that one out there, thumbnails.
So our father was a famous musician. Okay. I was born on the East Coast. She was born on the West Coast. I had no clue she existed. As I got older, I started feeling that maybe we had siblings because of my father's proclivities. When I was 19, he drove me and my stepmother across country to Las Vegas because he said he wanted to meet somebody. He wanted to see somebody. We got here.
I can feel this like emotion of
Right.
Like, are you gonna cry? If you cry, no,
Yeah.
no crying. But
So apparently he came to meet her. That was the one time he met her. I had no clue. She had no clue. Fast forward. My parents are now deceased. I moved, and I've always wanted to come to Las Vegas. I come to Las Vegas. I met somebody, was best friends with her. She introduced us. We hit it off. We're like best buds. We couldn't believe it. She comes to my house and says, "Why is there a picture of my father on your wall?" Now, I had always said to her, "You remind me of somebody. You remind me of somebody. Oh my God, I can't face it. She looks like my father."
I'm colored like Dad, and Dad's a slut and he loves redheads.
Yeah.
My mom's redhead, 5'11".
My mom was a redhead. I'm a redhead. So
But I got Daddy's color, and
she looks like my father. Yes.
that's insane.
So it was
that's
meant to
why
be.
we're called the word sistas.
Weird sisters, yes. So
You can't make this shit up.
yeah, it
No,
just
it floors. It's like your world.
She kept trying to come to Vegas.
I did. I tried
I
to come
moved
to
to
Vegas.
Vegas when I was 18.
I tried to come to Vegas.
And you missed
But
those years.
I was with my ex-husband. He refused to move. When we split, I took care of my mother for 5 years. She had Alzheimer's. I was going to literally move her with me, but she got to a point where she couldn't.
Hold for a bit.
Yes.
There was
I was being pulled. I wanted to come here and go to college, and I came here to finish college, but I got hit.
Yeah. Another
So,
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
that
so,
was,
I mean-
really hard out schools. Not little ones like, these are like
Yes,
forced.
yes,
Yeah.
it was being forced. So that's why we decided. We would always say it's so weird. And we're so weird. Everything is. And then when we decided, let's start our own business, and we're the Weird Sisters.
The weird sisters. But that's how it comes though. But there's a journey for you to get all the way. Like, I don't know if this would have been where you are today then. When you're at different
Yes.
mind levels and perceptions, and I think there's something.
Everything you've done in life, every decision you made, every hell you've had to go through brought you to
This
Yeah.
point. And when there's roadblocks and you're trying to push through it, is met with
We
such
can help with that.
resistance.
We can help with the
You're
roadblock.
not meant to, I don't think, be in that direction. I think
Yes.
it
Yeah.
forces you to where
Yes.
you have
Have
to
to
go
go.
where you're supposed
Right.
to go. No matter if you want that, there's another fate for you. It's like, it's
Yeah.
weird, the mechanisms in it. There's like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm aware. When I started hearing people say to me, strangers, come up and just say something, it used to be like, oh, yeah. I pay attention now. All of a
Yeah.
sudden they come on and say something, I'm like, oh, okay. You know,
Okay.
listening, it's like a weird, messages, pay attention. I know it sounds all weird.
Well, there's
Trust
They
in
have-
God.
There's an old saying. There's an old saying. Angels come in the strangest of guises. That's actually go back further. That's the Christian version of it. There's an old saying that you are guided by spirits and they come in the strangest of guises. So if there's somebody who walks up to you and says something and it changes your mind or your path, your spirits, your guardians, your angels, whatever you want to call them,
Listen.
are sending you a message, and apparently you weren't listening, so they had to hit you over the head with a hammer.
Because I
You
keep,
know?
I was like, oh, that's nice. And oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, what did you just say? No, because there are not like we know
Yes.
each other, but all of a sudden something I'll be like, now I pay attention. I'm like, okay, I don't need to get hit over the head anymore.
Right.
I'm good.
So once you learn, you listen.
Yeah.
Once you break that, you listen, and
It'll come to you easy.
it'll come to you easier. So
So much. Is there shout out again one more time where they can find you and how they can connect with you?
weird_SISTAS 333 on Instagram. And you can get to our Till Death. That's our wedding, our for weddings and wedding events. You can get to us through that account as well. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good seeing you again.
Many blessings or returns to you.
Blessed be.
Yes.